Hello and welcome back. Welcome back. We are here reading The Richest Man in Babylon, and we are going to start the first cure for the lean purse. There's seven of them. This is video one of seven. And in the previous video, we discussed the differences between, let's say, the entrepreneurship route, the energy that's required there, and then what this new energy is required for getting your purse fat, from lean to fat. And that's what we're going to be talking about. The first cure, and we're going to go into it right now, is start thy purse to fattening. Okay. So just to give you a recap, Arkad, the richest man in Babylon, he is he's in a class right now. He's teaching a class to how to fatten the purse because there's an issue in Babylon right now where they're all living, that the 1%, and basically Arkad is like the 1% of Babylon, is pretty much controlling all the gold that's circulating in the Babylon. And then the king, that's the king of Babylon, is like, where's all the gold going? And then they found out that Arkad is actually the one controlling the gold because he learned the principles of getting that gold, keeping that gold, growing that gold, lending out the gold, like literally all the facets to it. So we're about to get into the seven cures because this is how Arkad made his money, right? And in relation to how this applies to today's time, literally the same thing is happening. There's like about 3,000 billionaires in the world today. And yes, it is growing because the access to technology, the access to information, the access to AI, the access to everything is developing. And those that incorporate the information and learn how to apply it and how to use it, those are the ones that become that top percent. And there's nothing wrong with being the top percent. In fact, it's actually great because now you are in a position where you can teach. And this is where Arkad is. So let's get into it, shall we? The first cure. Start thy purse to fattening. Arkad addressed a thoughtful man in the second row. My good friend, at what craft workest thou? Like, what do you do for work? And then the man replied, I am a scribe and carve records upon the clay tablets. One can say he's an author. Okay. Even at such labor I did myself earn my first coppers. Therefore, thou hast the same opportunity to build a fortune. And this is actually the same way that Arkad started his journey. He was a scribe as well. And that's where he met the old man that taught him the principles of wealth and led him to the opportunity to actually become part of this old man's will, which then allowed him to gain a ton of wealth. So let's get into it. He spoke to a florid-faced man farther back. Pray tell also what thou dost to earn thy bread. How do you make your living? Basically, that's what he's saying. And then the man responded, I'm a meat butcher. I do buy the goats and the farmers raise and kill them and sell them the meat to the housewives and the hides and the sandal makers. Basically, you know what that means. He's a butcher. He buys the animals, he kills them, he cuts up the meat and sells them to the people. Because thou dost also labor and earn, thou hast every advantage to succeed that I did possess. So basically, Arkad is just making sure that they know, hey, you got a job, you got something that you're doing, there's income involved. So anybody that's in here, no matter what your position is, whatever it is that you do, you have the ability to become wealthy. In this way did Arkad proceed to find out how each man labored to earn his living. When he had done questioning them, he said, Now, my students, Ye can see that there are many trades and labors at which men may earn coins, each of which ways of earning is a stream of gold from which the workers both divert by his labors a portion of their purse. Therefore, into the purse of each of you flows a stream of coin, large or small, according to their ability. Isn't that so? Thereupon they agreed that it was so. Then, continued Arkad, if each of you direth to build for himself a fortune, it is not wise to start by utilizing that source of wealth which he already has established. To this they agreed. Then Arkad turned to a humble man who had declared himself an egg merchant. If thou select one of thy baskets and put it into each morning 10 eggs, and take out from each evening 9 eggs, what will eventually happen? Well, it will become in time overflowing. Why? Because each day I put in one more egg than I take out. And then Arkad turned to the class with a smile. Does any man here have a lean purse? And then they first they looked all amused, then they laughed, and lastly they waved their purses in yes. Basically, they're like, he asked the egg merchant, if you were to take the 10 packs of eggs and just keep one, but sell the rest, what would happen to the amount of eggs that you're collecting? And then the guy's like, yeah, it will start overflowing, of course, because I'm keeping one, and it's keep going. And then he asked, who else in here is broke, basically, aka saying, who who in here has a lean purse? And then everybody started laughing, and then they're like, yeah, me, I'm broke. And then he's like, all right, now I shall tell thee the first remedy I learned to cure a lean purse. Do exactly as I've suggested to the egg merchant. For every 10 coins thou place within thy purse, take out far use but 9. Thy purse will start to fatten, and at once it increasingly weight will feel good in thy hand and bring satisfaction to thy soul. Deride not what I say because of its simplicity. Don't take this lightly. That's what he's saying. Truth is always simple. I told thee that I would tell how I built my fortune. This was my beginning. And I too carried a lean purse and cursed it because there was not within to satisfy my desires. But when I began to take out from my purse, but 9 parts of 10 I put in, it began to fatten. So will thine. Now I will tell a strange truth, the reason for which I know not. When I ceased to pay out more than 9/10 of my earnings, I managed to get along just as well. I was not shorter than before. Also, ere long, did coins come to me more easily than before. Surely it is a law of the gods that unto him who keepeth and spendeth not a certain part of all their earnings shall gold come more easily. Likewise, him whose purse is empty does gold avoid. Come on. Do you understand what that means? It said, listen, out of the 10 coins, I kept one. I was still good with living off the 9. It didn't make such a big difference. However, if I stopped doing that and I stopped getting that 1/10 in that coin, for some reason the gold just kept not wanting to come in because I stopped that flow. It's like when you stop a faucet from coming into your life or the water flowing into your life, you know? Once you stop that habit, then that flow will stop too. And because that flow stopped, it doesn't allow that purse to get fat. And because it doesn't get fat, then the energy of yourself gets lower and lower and lower, which then it the abundance stops coming to you. It repels that energy. Abundance, wealth, just overall well-being is not attracted to mediocre energy. Okay. So that vibration is to continue to keep in the flow, which goes, which desirest thou the most? Is it gratification of thy desires of each day, a jewel, a bit of finery, better raiment, more food, things quickly gone and forgotten? Or is it substantial belongings, gold, land, herds, merchandise, income bringing investments? What do you want? What do you want this gold to produce? What do you want this one little coin, that act of saving, that act of compounding, that discipline that it's being created? What do you want it for? That's what he's asking. The coins thou takest from thy purse bring the first. The coins thou leavest within it will bring the latter. Okay? This, my students, was the first cure I did discover for my lean purse. For each 10 coins I put in, to spend but only 9. Debate this among yourselves. If any man proves it untrue, tell me upon the morrow when we shall meet again. So basically, he's just like, contemplate over that. If you think any of this is wrong, come tomorrow and we'll discuss it. No problem. And same goes with you. If you believe that you can take 1/10 of whatever it is that you're earning, whether it's 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 10,000 a month, or even a year, okay, contemplate over that. Will it affect your lifestyle so much that you can't live with 1/9 or only like 9/10 of what you're keeping? Will it change your life drastically so much that it will impair you in a way that you can't get out of? That's what he's asking. Okay. So you let me know in the comments. Do you think by not saving 1/10 of what you're earning will impair you so bad that you can't live it? Let me know in the comments. Okay. I would love to know. And let me know also, can you? That's the point here. Can you make this happen? And if so, put it in the comments. I will liveth and I will earneth 1/10 of my purse. Something like that. You can put it in the comments, however you'd like. I'll see you in the next video where we talk about the second cure to a lean purse.